Hello and welcome to Dubai Life. My name is Shaban. In today's video, I intend to answer a very simple question. And the question is about Africans or Ugandans who are being deported from Dubai or from the United Arab Emirates. The question I intend to answer in this video is, who cares? Who cares if Ugandans or Africans or Asians, expatriates are being deported from the United Arab Emirates or from Dubai? But before I answer that question, allow me to try to explain to you or to highlight my understanding of the whole situation and how we got here in the first place. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a crisis. A lot of blame has been placed on countries, on governments, on members of parliament, tour agents, recruitment companies, individuals who are employing domestic workers. I personally don't believe blaming is enough. This is more than just blame, more than placing blame on someone or a certain group. We need to understand that there are more than one factors that have caused this. It's not only one factor or one reason that is causing all this for a long time. There are many factors that have been piling up for a long time for us to get to this point. What has been happening to Africans in Dubai? In recent days, many Africans from different countries, Kenya, Tanzania, Nigeria, Cameroon, Senegal, Ghana, to mention just but a few, and some Asian nationalities have been collected from different centers, including Union Metro Station, Banias Metro Station, and several other stations or locations, and they have been detained in different places. At first, many of them were detained at the international airport, Dubai International Airport, Terminal 2. But when the number was getting high, many of them were moved to Alawir Immigration Center or Deportation Center. This is not a repatriation arrangement or amnesty. It is a deportation procedure. For people to be deported, they have to follow a certain procedure. It's not the same as repatriation, it's not the same as amnesty. And if anyone has any criminal records, then they have to be treated accordingly. You'll have to first answer to a court about your criminal offense or file before you can be allowed to be deported. When did this happen? Since the year 2020, it's like the third or fourth time similar operations have been happening and people are being deported back to their home countries. This last operation started on 10th of August and still ongoing as of now, 29th of August 2022. Many expatriates in the United Arab Emirates, especially in Dubai, who feel defeated by their financial situation, they are unable to earn or pay for a comfortable living, have been advised by social media especially, because there's no official communication from the government authorities, but someone started with a rumor that collected people moving to Union and then International Airport Terminal 2. People packed their bags and moved to Union, where they are collected in numbers by government buses to the deportation centers. Because of the high numbers at Union Metro Station, people were told to move to International Airport Terminal 2. Still, people turned up in numbers. Now there's a huge number. The numbers are so huge. There are thousands of people who want to be deported. People are voluntarily going to deportation centers to be deported back home because they have had enough. Their hopes have not come to life. That's why they want to go back home and maybe try again next time. So, if you still feel that you have no way of making it through, you are defeated, you have no job, no money to spend, nowhere to sleep, nothing to eat, you can still consider the option of visiting the immigration center. If you have money for the air ticket, you can apply for the outpass through any of the immigration offices and then you'll be assisted. However, you should know that the queues are so long, so the process may not be very fast because it's first come, first serve. Are people being banned from the United Arab Emirates after deportation? Yes. Any deportation from any country goes with a temporary ban. The ban may range from 6 months to 2 years or life ban. If you don't have any criminal records, it may be temporary, but if you have any major criminal records, it will be permanent ban, most likely. When you complete the ban time, if it's 6 months or 2 years, then you can apply again for a new visa to the United Arab Emirates and you'll be granted entry. Why are people being deported and not given amnesty or repatriation? Before I answer that question, I'll start by explaining these three terms: repatriation, amnesty, and deportation. Repatriation is only done if people who need to be reunited with their families have not been able to travel for a long time due to options or travel options being closed or locked. This happened during the lockdown of airports. There was no way people could travel back to their countries for more than 6 months. Then a repatriation can be arranged. These are people living in the country legally, but for so long they cannot meet their families just because flights were not moving. That's different. Amnesty is a scheme that allows illegal residents in a country to clear their visa status and either renew their visa to stay in the country or return to their home countries without having to pay the fines and not getting any bans or any immigration penalties. That happens whenever the government feels like it's not a right for immigrants or for expatriates. It's a privilege that can be given by the government whenever they want. So no amnesty at the moment announced, and no one can force the government to give an amnesty. Deportation, on the other side, is the act of forcing someone to leave a country where they do not have legal rights to live, or if they commit a crime in that country. So anyone, any expatriate whose visa has expired has no more right to live in the country. They have to leave the country. So the people being deported, mostly the visas have expired. They have overstayed their visas. That means they are living illegally in the country. So deportation is just taking them back to their country to decide what next. Why is it happening now? Since the year 2020, when COVID disrupted our social ways of living life, the whole world was affected differently. But for majority of us, especially individuals, were affected badly. Businesses, companies, the travel industry, the hotel and hospitality industry, tourism, all these industries were very, very badly affected, and the effects impacted many families. Many ladies came from different countries to the United Arab Emirates looking for domestic work, but some of them did not find the conditions as they expected. The treatment wasn't that good, so they decided to leave their homes where they were working and try their luck somewhere else. However, when they came out, again, they didn't find a job, and many of them overstayed their visas. They have nothing to eat, no earning, and their life is so hard. So many people lost their jobs during COVID-19. They kept hoping that maybe something will come up and they'll get a job and start earning. So under these conditions, people for long hoped and kept praying that one day they will get back to the good times. But now it's more than 2 years later, and many have gone into overstay for years. No job, it's hard to get food or where to sleep. People started sleeping on streets, in public parks, gardens, on building rooftops, with no air conditioning, no washrooms, no hygienic ways of living. This whole situation resulted to a rise in crime rates in the United Arab Emirates or in Dubai in some corners. Some petty crimes started, some fighting started, prostitution was on an increase. So all these factors coming together were all pointing to one thing: people who have no jobs, who are not earning, and they have to survive. So one of surviving was to get involved in petty crimes. So the government decides to support the residents by trying to deport people who have no jobs, who have nowhere to stay, who have no means of earning. Another question is, who can help these people who are in need and how? This call goes to all countries who have people living or working in the United Arab Emirates. Embassies and ministries of foreign affairs and members of parliament can work together on this to support these people. How? Provide contact centers for your people in the United Arab Emirates. The embassy or consulates have a contact number and someone from a human resource who is willing and ready to support these people, either by advising them or counseling them, or in a way they can be supported. Another thing is, many people do not have their passports now for different reasons. It won't help to start finding out why they don't have their passports, but please, if you can, provide for them travel documents free of charge to be able to go back home. Another way we can support, or the people I mentioned above can support, is by providing either discounted air tickets back home or free tickets. If the country has an airline and they can offer free tickets, support these people. Someone who has no job, nowhere to sleep, no food to eat, will not be able to afford an air ticket. If you can, give them the air ticket on credit. Maybe they'll pay back when they go back to their countries. Lastly, I suggest, if countries that have people in the United Arab Emirates can afford, they should provide rehabilitation centers for their people. Many people are losing their mind. We've seen cases of suicide because people are so frustrated. They have lost hope and they need to leave, but they have no way of earning. They have to survive. They give up. At one point, they get too much of it. They have no support, no one to help, and they go into suicide. So countries, if you can, provide rehabilitation centers, advertise them, let people know that they can be rehabilitated for some time. At the moment, people are getting support from the government. The ones who have voluntarily handed themselves in for deportation, they're getting somewhere to sleep, they can shower, they have food, they have air conditioning. Their life is not that bad as before. But now we need to support the government by getting the people back home. Now, in conclusion of this video, I'll end up by saying, who cares? I'll answer that question now. In my opinion, who cares? The government of the United Arab Emirates cares, especially the federal government of Dubai. They care. They provided transport for people from Union or from wherever they collected them to the deportation center. As if that's not enough, they provided food, shelter, water to drink, and air conditioning in the facilities. Now there's a huge issue of sorting the people, finding them their identities, as many of them do not have passports. The identity search is taking a lot of time and there are so many people. So governments, embassies can get in now to support the government of the United Arab Emirates or the government of Dubai to identify their citizens and help with the deportation by providing any documents that are required. For those who have expired passports or who have lost their passports, provide them with the documents they need, clearance, so that they can go back home and start again. Deportation is not the end of life. It is maybe another chance to start again. That's all for today. Thank you so much. Watch out for the next video.